Hello. I've delayed crafting that last legendary as much as I'm going to. So, it is time for the final achievement for Death Knight, Boon or Doom. Give 40 and then 80 boons to Bwonsamdi. Now, I've seen a bunch of Bwonsamdi decks on the ladder. It feels like it's pretty strong. So, honestly, you probably can just find one of those that works for you and use it. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try to cobble something together for myself. Of course, the key card here is the Fabled Death Knight card, Talanji of the Graves, a 4-mana, 4/5 undead with Fabled and Battlecry, draw Bwonsamdi, or resurrect him if he's died, and choose a boon to give him. Bwonsamdi is a 6-mana, 6/6 undead with Death Rattle, summon a random 4-cost minion. Any boons given to Bwonsamdi carry over to the summon. And also this spell, What Befell Zandalar. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. Choose a boon to give to Bwonsamdi. So I've been mentioning boons. What are those? There's a boon of power, a boon of longevity, and a boon of speed, and they all pretty much operate the same way. So boon of power, for instance, gives Bwonsamdi taunt permanently, and remember that will carry over to the Death Rattle summon. Minions summoned by his Death Rattle cost 2 more. So if you give this to Bwonsamdi, he'll be a 6-mana, 6/6 undead with taunt, and with the Death Rattle to summon a 6-mana minion, random 6-mana minion with taunt. And then longevity is the same but for lifesteal, and boon of speed is the same but for rush. So if you have all 3 of these, then Bwonsamdi will be a 6-mana 6/6 with taunt, rush, and lifesteal, and upon Death Rattle will summon a 10-cost minion. So right at the start, it kind of feels like you can never make more than 3 progress per game, no matter how much recursion you have for the boon effects. There's only 3 keywords to give him, and I don't know if the cost of the Death Rattle summon will ever get higher than 10. But I will try to find out. Youthful Brewmasters for recursion, primarily hopefully on Talanji. Tidepool Pupils for recursion, hopefully on What Befell Zandalar. But of course the spell, there's just the one in my deck, and I don't want Tidepools clogging up my hand forever. It's more like, okay, this could happen sometimes. Wakener of Souls will resurrect a different friendly Death Rattle minion and has Reborn. So if Bwonsamdi is the only Death Rattle minion in the deck, that will resurrect him over and over, at least until Bwonsamdi himself calls up another Death Rattle minion. Memoriam Manifest is a 4-mana shadow spell with summon the highest cost friendly undead that died in the game. So that will work to summon Bwonsamdi again until Bwonsamdi himself summons a higher cost undead from his Death Rattle. Orbital Moon will give a minion taunt and lifesteal, which Bwonsamdi might already have, but could also give him Reborn. So this could be used on other minions, or it could be used to get more Bwonsamdi Death Rattles. I've put caricature artists to draw minions that cost 5 or more since I have a few of those running around, but in this case I did not put Tail and Fordring in along with them because I don't want more Death Rattles in the deck. I have Infested Breath and Sanguine Infestation for leeches and some draw, but I do not have the Hideous Husk because it's a 6-cost undead, so I don't want that contaminating the Memoriam Manifest pool. Portal Vanguard, a 3-mana 2/2 dragon with Rewind, Battlecry to draw a minion from your deck and give it +2/+2. Sharp Eye Lookout, a 3-mana 2/3 untyped minion with Battlecry, draw a card, and while you're in its hand, it knows what the next card of your deck is. Those were included to have some draw without Death Rattles attached. And then I have board clears in the form of Corpse Explosion, Wild Pyromancer, and Poison Breath, which I realized I had forgotten to actually put in, so I actually took out a couple of cards to make room for it. And finally, Husk Eternal Reaper, a 4-mana 5/3 undead with the battle cry to give your hero Death Rattle spend up to 20 corpses to resurrect with that much health. Now, this I've included mostly for fun. I think in lots of cases it won't save a game where you literally just died. So if you want to make changes, this is probably the first thing to go. But like I said, I think he's fun. Honorable mentions go to Brittlebone Buccaneer. This could give Bwonsamdi Reborn once. The rest of the time Bwonsamdi comes out, he's being resurrected and not played from hand. So with no other death rattles really in the deck, I decided that Brittlebone wasn't really a good fit here. But if you make a version yourself with more death rattles, then maybe he's a good inclusion. Similarly, I'm not using Eternal Layover, primarily because with the small number of death rattles in my deck, I kind of fear that the opponent could benefit from this more than I do. So, yeah, I'm not using this as one of my board killers. If you are playing Wild, you may want to find room for Mosh Pit to give Bwonsamdi Reborn, Prosthetic Hand to give Bwonsamdi Reborn, or Drakari Embalmer to give Bwonsamdi Reborn. These, I believe, are better than Brittlebone Buccaneers because they allow you to give Reborn to Bwonsamdi more often on a death rattle while he's on the board, and more reliably. Alright, that's about it. It's a deck centered around basically a single card. So if Bwonsamdi gets hexed or transformed with that new mage card, you're pretty much cooked. But let's see how it goes, and let me see if I can try to give Bwonsamdi boons more than 3 times in a game to see if it even tracks that progress, or if the cost of the Death Rattle summon goes up. Alright, let's go.
Foxy versus Jaina.
Underestimate me at your peril.
I don't think I need Bwonsamdi in my opening hand, or Tide Pools necessarily. Let's just throw all of this back. I could go for Talanji immediately right here, but I'd rather save that for when I can Brewmaster it. So, Caricature Artist.
Don't worry, it looks great.
I suppose I could draw the What Befell Zandalar, but I think I'll just go for another Caricature Artist here.
Don't worry, it looks great.
I will go ahead and give one zombie a boon.
You all souls to one zombie.
Let's start with Rush.
Drink with me, friend.
Oh, we got a tide pool pupil, so let's give one zombie another boon.
No, not possible.
And give him lifesteal. And draw a youthful
Surely
brewmaster.
this way is west.
My hand is too full.
Look right past me.
Okay, it's time to start actually using one zombie.
You really think you are Death invites.
Oh, nice.
Time runs out on me.
Okay, so I kind of hate that I'm going to be wasting one of these. Oh,
You really think you
I was presuming one of those would be counterspell. So I'll also draw some leeches, or make some leeches.
My hand is too full.
You know what? I'll take it though, 'cause that's still gonna be some lifesteal.
Time runs out on me.
You know what? Fair. But certainly, let's do this.
You all souls to one zombie.
Give the last boon. And there was only even one boon to choose from, so I'm pretty sure I couldn't have given any more boons than that. I will go ahead and give myself the death rattle.
come to me in time.
And then that way I can give one zombie the rush and the reborn.
Death invites.
hand is too full.
You really think you are in control here?
Time runs out on me.
I found a sea urchin.
What befell Zandalar, and if I cast this, no more boons.
You really think you are in control?
A dream come true.
The day is all.
On your left, you'll see a rare specimen.
Time runs out on me.
That may have been a mistake.
Death invites you. Death invites you.
Let's see. I guess I'll do that.
Yeah.
Just to activate that. And then why not?
Into the Timeways. Step forth into the Timeways.
Put your faith in the light.
Death invites you.
Ooh.
Death invites you. Strike with fury. You are in control here.
Sure.
Surely this way is west.
Sanguine infestation is nice.
Job done.
hand is too full. You win here.
Oh, it did count the fourth one. So even though I couldn't actually give a boon, bouncing back to Lanji and recasting what befell Zandalar did count for progress towards the achievement. And this is grindy enough that I would recommend keeping all of those in there. Just because, yeah, I want to squeeze out every boon that I can, whether or not it actually makes a difference to the board state, just because you've got to reach 80. Ugh. But if you don't want to sort of overstack your boons that way, I would recommend at least taking one tide pool out and putting maybe Kill Jaden in. And then that way you have something to do if you draw yourself towards the end of the deck and still haven't finished. But yeah, I mean, it actually even seems like kind of a good deck. Maybe a little bit lacking in the early game. But yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, have a good one.